I wanted to start with, I just wanted to apologize. I didn't time my whereabouts appropriately. I wanted to be at the computer, but that didn't work out fully. But I just wanted to go through, it's for what we started, getting over the ski resort that was last summer. It's hard to believe, but it's almost a year. And we received so much positive and overwhelming support from everybody and all the community and so on. And we are very grateful for that. And we hope that we will be able to continue on in those footsteps and build the ski resort into the expectations you have with it. As many of you know, this was our very first winter when we were operating this resort. It went quite spectacularly well. We had 34 events planned and 10 races. Obviously, for obvious reasons, the season got cut a little bit short, even though we would have snow for another about a month or so. The local community was very happy. Even Larry Daphne, it's claimed that some businesses their revenue went up 40%, which was great to see, and see that the community turned alive during the winter time, and it was not shut down, and we were able to provide a community gathering space for the whole community where people would see each other and their children would enjoy the outdoors every day, and we could have seen how they improve with their skiing skills going forward. We were also very proud to see that we had 300 students taking part of the ski and school this year from the 4 different schools, and which was the Cape Smokey Elementary, North Highland Elementary, Cape Education Center, and the Wake Cook Educational Center. Majority of those children, about over 80%, were beginners or never skied before. And we have a surface lift or a Informal lift. And after that, majority of them were able at least to make it up to the beginner slope and had some sort of concept of skiing, which is amazing to see because the majority of these children probably never skied before in their life. And even though they live, a couple meters away from a ski slope, that we were able to change that and start them off on a path that skiing hopefully will become part of their life. And they will be able to enjoy the outdoors, even in winter times, and see the beauty of it, not just of the summer. We had a lot of great events, starting with the Microbrewery Festival, having the Skidoo races as well, and the very first groomed heli skiing actually event in later January. It was a winter, of ups and downs, but overall I think it was handled quite well, and it was just a shame that we had to finish right before the March break, where we had significantly more events planned and we're hoping going to forward with. But most of you who are probably interested about what we are doing here in the summer and what we are preparing for the 2021 Canadian Day, even everything going about in the world, that's what we are still planning to open at. And that's what we are still scheduled to do. That will include the microbrewery, where the new lodge is going to be located, the gondola, and the tree walk. So far, we are in the preparatory phase, or end of the preparatory phase, where we cleared out most of the vegetation where the new parking lot is going to be and where the new lodge is going to be located. We were able to relocate successfully with Nova Scotia Power some of the lines which were in the way of the future or the new development where the new lodge is going to be located. For those people who are passing by, what that's going to be about. And when you're looking at the hill on the left side, we started the construction of a new ski slope as well, which will be by 10 meters long, 100 vertical meters higher than the previous top of the mountain. So that will be quite exciting going forward. And right now we have actually the land surveyors here today going through and marking off all the foundations. And we hope that in 2 weeks' time that we will start digging and working on the foundations for the tree walk and the gondola. And that's kind of the summary what we have, what everything is going on here at Cape Smokey, and we hope to be still opening for 2021 for Canadian Day. And that all of you are going to be here, most definitely.
Great. Well, thank you, Martin. That's great to hear some positive announcements, in the area. So, like I said, if anybody has any questions, it might be best, because we have a large number here, if you'd like to use the raise your hand option. If you don't have that option on your device, or you're unable, just maybe let us know if you have any questions, and I can kind of try to direct them towards Martin as we go. Or I can start, because I have a question about the ski in school. If I'm just wondering if that is going to, if you plan on continuing that, because it seems like a great way to involve the community with the hill, and I hope to see that continue.
Most definitely. It's we had a great group of volunteers this year, which we were able to make this even possible. And for us, it's very important that the children and the local people are involved in this project as a whole, and they really want this to succeed, and they want to be part of it eventually and going to the future. And giving back to the community with these kind of steps, and really making their feel for them that Cape Smokey is their home, and part of their place being, that's very important to us. Especially in the local community. When you go there, majority of the people will tell you, we grew up on that hill, which is, very strong words for us, because that means that they have some sort of personal belonging and wanting to stay here in the area. And we want to run with that feeling and make sure that they feel the same way in the next years coming forward.
Yeah, lovely. That's great.
Most definitely.
Anyone have any questions for Martin? Well, I certainly, I can keep going, because I do have quite a few questions.
No, okay. It's just
go ahead. Did somebody have something? Oh, Dan.
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Martin, can you talk about the new lodge? Will it be in the same place as the old lodge, or is it moving?
No, it's going to move a little bit lower than before, because we thought that, this lodge is a little bit up the hill. And we didn't want, especially in the winter time when it's full of ice, that somebody was walking up the hill and slip and fall. I don't know how often you go around Cape Smokey right now, but we moved the power lines slightly out of the way where they were in their original spot. So the lodge is going to be significantly closer to the road than it was before. If you're familiar with the area, it's right underneath the hill, where you had to kind of walk up there on the way to the old lodge.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
So about 50 meters lower.
Dan, go ahead.
I was just going to mention, Martin, good to hear you. It's been a while, buddy. I do have copies of I know you were hoping to be at the computer, but I have a copy of your presentation you gave in February to BABTA. If you wanted me to show some of those images, I could probably put them up on the screen for others to see, but I didn't want to do that without your knowledge.
Yep, most definitely. If that's what you want to share, or I don't remember what that there is, but you most definitely go ahead.
Okay, it was just the diagram of the new building, where layout of where the new building is, as well as the pictures of the old.
Yeah, no.
We're just trying to get
most definitely.
Go ahead with any other questions, and I'll work on the technical side of getting those shared there.
Thank you. So I hope that you will start seeing, some sort of progress in the next couple of months with what I don't think many people find foundations that exciting.
Whether it's worth it or not.
Sorry, I think that was just was that just background noise, or did somebody have a question? Oh, well, I have I'll start. I have a question then. With all of these developments, Martin, and probably a huge range of events and programs that will be beginning in the next, year or two and into the future, I assume you're going to need some employees and some people working in the area. Sorry, I'm just going to mute that one.
Yes. Yeah.
So when do you plan on maybe starting a bit of the hiring process, or do you have any idea about that?
Yeah. Well, we will most likely start that, receiving CVs and going through them probably in late January or beginning of January. And we will need roughly 150 people to run this operation throughout the year. 150 for the winter and then about 100 for the summer operation. The winter is always significantly more intensive. But, in terms of the activities which we will be offering going forward, is we really want to make sure that if somebody comes here, they can stay here as long as possible and enjoy themselves as much. That including as much water sports as we can, putting zip lines as well, having the tree walk and the gondola being kind of the reason why people stop. Kind of thinking of it as a Leaning Tower of Pisa. That everybody what thinks about Pisa thinks of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but there are significantly more activities in that city, and we want to kind of foresee it the same way, that people can stop here, enjoy themselves on walking the tree walk, going up the gondola, but there will be more activities here waiting for them. It's not just a beautiful view you will be receiving, but a lot of fun activities which will be going with it, and hopefully it will be for a whole family that they can entertain themselves to their best, basically.
Will you be able to see the tree walk from the road, or from, or is it more
most
so?
Definitely.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. The tree walk is about 30 meters above the air, in the air, and you will walk on a beautiful elevated platform, which is no more than 6% in incline. So it's completely handicap accessible. It's completely accessible or safe for mothers with trolleys as well, and make sure that that everybody is safe. That's our priority, and that there will be detours for children as well, where it's kind of balance beams and educational centers. So it's just not going to be a beautiful walk among the nature, but it will be also educational to a certain extent, and you will be rewarded for that lovely walk at the top, where you will be at a 30-meter lookout tower and overseeing the whole Indonish area on both sides. And believe me, it is a lovely view there. It's, I think actually in one of the slides, what you might be watching, I have had the picture there of the beautiful view from top of the lookout tower.
Wow, sounds lovely. Paul, did you have a question?
Well, actually, it's more of a comment. It's just great to see the project still going ahead. Like hear the progress. It's a great project for the local economy down in Ingonish, but also for all of Victoria County and Cape Breton. So it's great to hear that progress is being made, Martin, and thank you for it.
Yeah, no. Thank you for everybody for the support, and hopefully we will, as I say, see you all here, and you will take this for your own, and be happy what we are building for you.
I'm sure we will. I believe Dan is going to try to share those slides just so people can kind of get a sense of what these projects will look like. But of course, I have another question, Martin. I'm just wondering, what will have you considered the accessibility factor for the site? If people who might be wanting to visit, or maybe go on the gondola, will it be accessible for those who might be in a wheelchair or
that's
walker?
one thing which is that's one thing which we have we are 100% dedicated to, is that every single facility is, and with including the gondola, the tree walk, the lodge, everything will be 100% handicap accessible, with the ramps not being more than 6% in incline. And that's also very positive for the mothers with children who are quite young in the trolleys as well. And we want to make sure that everybody, no matter if you are tall or short, or if you're handicapped or young, get the best experiences they can with no matter of any other factors.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Claude, you wanted to ask a question? You're muted, Claude. Just unmute yourself.
Okay. Yes, I think it's a great idea what you're doing with the tree walk and the ski hill. I've been involved with several Olympic games, and I worked in South America, and they really promote their skiing through marketing and promotions right across Canada and right across the world. The tree walk now, I'm curious about, is that going to be year-round tree walk?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, you mean how? Yeah, there's multiple tree walks in the world. We actually, or part of the investment group has built, I believe, to this point, 10 tree walks in Europe.
Yep.
So far. This will be the very first one in North America, to my knowledge. And, you know, it's all wooden construction, very natural. And, you know, it will be an iconic structure for the area.
Okay, and it will be year-round, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
We will have yes, go for it.
Okay, are you going to have transportation from, see, there'll be people that won't want to drive there in their vehicles for many reasons. Is there a possibility there's going to be a shuttle service, like from Sydney to from a major area, like a shopping mall, and take them up for a day and take them back to Sydney or North Sydney? Is that going to be happening over?
Yes, we were thinking of something similar. Probably not as soon as we start for 2021, but yes, we are thinking of something similar, Curtis. And yes, we hope that we will have something ready for you for the opening day in terms of shuttles coming from Sydney area.
Exactly. It's a super idea because it works and it works in Alberta and works in other places that, you know, you got one vehicle and somebody has one vehicle with a family and that person is working this way, they can take their family with them and go up there. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
And if somebody doesn't have the means, it's a great way. And I know that hopefully Victoria County Transit, if things get back to normal, will be running again as well. So that might be able to fill some gaps there as well. So.
Exactly. Now, one more quick thing is, are you still going to call out Cape Smokey, or is that changing the name at all? Are you?
No, we are not. We are sticking to it. It has a lovely history behind it.
Exactly.
And we wouldn't want to alienate anybody, so we are still going with the Cape Smokey name for the area. And we are actually had a slightly modified version of the logo, which should be coming out shortly, and we should be launching actually on our new website fairly shortly as well into the future, where we will have all the activities which will be going on the first year and the coming years, so people know exactly what they should be excited about. As well, the winter report should be, I think, today or tomorrow, uploaded to our Facebook page for what was going here in the winter time.
Okay, great. One more quick question. Marketing and promotions. Will you be doing that later? If you had something together by Christmas of this year, you'll probably do fairly well on marketing and promotions. If you had hats or T-shirts or et cetera, that probably would be a good idea, since you're already good chance you're going to be starting in 2021. So it'll be something to think about for sure.
Yeah. No, we have speaking of marketing, we are hoping that before the end of this summer, that we will be able to put together an online store on our new website, which is going to be coming forward hopefully in the end of next month or so.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Claude. Does anybody else have any questions for Martin? So Martin, you were saying that, you know, you're going to be starting construction. You have a supply road and the parking lot is cleared. Mm-hmm. What is the status of the tree walk? Have you obtained any supplies or what's, you know, how far is that ahead?
We had actually a couple engineers and so on. We are working, you know, many people overlook the foundations because, you know, they go below the ground and nobody really sees them. But that's at least 30 or if not more % of the work. So first of all, the structure is structurally sound and doesn't fall anywhere. And it's the longest period of time to actually for the tree walk to get built. In Europe, at least, we were able to build every tree walk under 60 days. Afterwards, everything was manufactured and it's just putting it together. So the foundations are the key element, and we are working on those as we speak. And we are working on the wooden elements and the metal elements, which are going to be put together with the manufacturers as we speak right now.
Great. Just a quick follow-up. So Claude kind of did mention a little bit that he did ask if the tree walk would be used year-round. So just to clarify, will people be able to access the tree walk or, you know, get up the gondola if they're not there to ski during the winter?
Oh, most definitely. And that's the beauty of the gondola. It's an enclosed bubble. You're not sitting there. It's on a chairlift. So it's like a small apartment you walk into. The door closes behind you. You go all the way up to the tree walk. You can walk the tree walk. The tree walk is going to be taken with all the precautions, so it's not slippery in the winter, and the snow will be cleared off of it, and you can enjoy still your lovely views all year round with no limitations. After you're done with your walk on the tree walk, you can still take the gondola down to the bottom, or if you prefer to ski, that will be also, or snowboard, that will be also possible.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, very much so. We will also plan to have, for those who are just going to be skiing, we will have a small rental boot shop up top. So they don't want to walk in their ski boots and so on. They can also, you know, have a couple runs, stop by, go walk the tree walk, and then have a couple more runs afterwards. So it's anytime you will be able to go and enjoy the walk and the beauties of that structure.
Well, it sounds like there's very little you guys have not considered.
Martin, if I could just ask, sorry, if I could just ask, I'm curious, are there any plans in the works to expand the runs, to increase the number of runs on the hill, or do you plan just to go with the existing runs?
Yeah, no, as I mentioned, I believe when I started is when you're looking at the hill on the left, we actually started cutting out a new run. It's going to be 100 meters vertical higher than the pre-existing. I don't know if we will have that ready for the season 2021-2022 ski season, but it's definitely in the works, and we are working on it. If you go around the Smokey area right now, you can see where we are working on cutting a new run out.
Okay.
Excuse me there, just 1 second. Is it possible that you could, on top of the hill, eventually have cross-country trails up on top? Is that possible?
Yeah, that's something what we are looking into as well. It would definitely not be part of the first year we would have that, but eventually down the line, yes, we would have cross-country trails as well.
Thank you.
Okay, Martin, just to let you know, I have been sharing some of those slides. It's the geographic map, the drawing of your building, the new lodge, and the tree walk images from the other tree walks that were built. A question I have, and maybe may be interested in, when you first started, there was a lot of interest in local businesses and inviting local businesses to partner with you guys on site. As you get closer to that day, do you have any more clear indication of what types of partner businesses you would look to have conversations with at this point to have on site to offer services to the visitors that may be coming?
Yeah, most definitely. So thank you so much for reminding me. Our whole idea is that we will be an umbrella for other businesses to be able to operate. So, you know, for example, if we have kayak tours going off the marina, we are not operating those kayak tours. It's another local business who will be operating them, but he will just be operating under the wider umbrella of Cape Smokey. But as of right now, we started having some talks with local businesses about it. Obviously, these talks will expand with time when we are getting closer and closer to the opening date. When we have the new lodge and stuff being done with, we will know exactly how many local businesses for the market what we want to have inside is more realistic, and we can start playing with the spacing and what exactly we will need and what knowledge is in the community, so we can address the correct people for the local businesses. But yes, still it's our plan that we will be working very closely with the local community to be able to provide these services and many of these external activities what we are planning to have here.
Excellent, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Martin. Anybody else have any questions?
I was just going to ask, what are the two small buildings? Is that the microbrewery in the picture, picture that was shown
No,
there?
the two small buildings next to it, those are the existing buildings which are already there. That's the garage and kind of a ski patrol hut / storage area, and we are just rebuilding those what but they are currently existing already. We're just adding that new lodge which is there, kind of in a L shape. I assume that's what you were referring to if you're looking at the drawing on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah, I was just wondering what was what there.
Yeah. Yep. No, just operation. The microbrewery is going to be the lower floor of the microbrewery. The lower floor of the lodge. The lodge is going to have 2 floors, so the lower part of the lodge is going to be microbrewery, and the beer will be cooked directly there, and we will be cooking around 6 beers, or 6 different types of beer. So hopefully you will come and give it a try.
Can you guarantee that will be as good as Czech beer?
I would bet on it.
Czech beer is the best beer in the world, I think.
Oh my! Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. We are actually going to have a brewmaster all the way from Czech Republic.
Excellent.
It will be to you to judge what his quality of beer, but I think his beer is quite good. For the ones who are more familiar with beers, we will be cooking mostly with the decoction method. And I'm not the brewmaster, so I cannot I don't understand it enough to get into details, but it's a different way to cook beer, and that's how, for example, Pilsner style beers are mostly cooked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Martin? Claude?
Yes. This might be long term down the road. You're so close to the Atlantic Ocean. There's only a few places in the world that actually you can ski down to the ocean, like you have at Cape Smokey. Is there such thing as a possibility of zip line, or can you do something over the highway? I'm not sure if that's a good question or not, but I mean, I'm just thinking about long term.
Yeah, well, it's funny that you ask. I have a vision, and there's no plans for this. It's just kind of my dream of this is that one day, and this is maybe 5 or 8 years in the future, that we would be able to have a zip line across from top of Cape Smokey across the bay to the other side. If that vision of mine is realistic enough, that's another question. But definitely, I have been thinking about it. We will see how everything works out, and if the future holds this for us in the cards, sort of to speak.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I think sometimes 4 or 5 years in ahead too myself. It's good though, I guess, to do that.
Exactly. Sometimes the dreams have to be wild and outreach,
Yep.
uh,
Yep.
and then scale it down for us to make it work. But
Exactly.
hopefully we are thinking big.
It's very ambitious and a little bit terrifying.
No,
Just
So
drink,
safety is always our priority.
just go with John with the drinks with check beer and you'll be all set. You just won't even forget about it.
Yeah.
So Martin, I'm just going
Um,
to play devil's advocate just a little bit here. I mean, I'm in full support, and these programs sound amazing. And like I said, very ambitious. And for instance, if you were to have a zip line that goes across the bay, I mean, where else would you have a zip line like that on the island province or maybe the Atlantic provinces? But and the tree walk, the first in North America. But for the smaller programs, are you ever hesitant that you might be kind of repeating or mirroring some other, businesses that are in the area, and how might you kind of go about either collaborating or, maybe not
No,
making certain decisions because of that?
yeah, no, most definitely. We don't think we will be competing with any other local businesses because, every single time I know there's a gentleman who does zip lines that's in the area here, he will be the first one. We will ask if this goes, for example, ahead, or we want to do it, if he wants to be a partner in this, if he wants to help operate it with this, and so on and so on. And we will always see if it's feasible to do it that way or not. It's case by case scenario. But end of the day, we have to realize that this is such a beautiful island, and there is one road around it, the Cabot Trail, and there's thousands and thousands of people going around it, and more activity there can be on this lovely road where people go on holidays, the better for the whole island in total. If somebody's using a zip line as an example, if somebody can go on a zip line here and then have another complete different zip line experience 10 minutes, 15 minutes down the road, it will be only playing and adding to the experience everybody will be taking out of this journey around the Cabot Trail. There is a reason why always all the fast food restaurants are on one street, and it's not because they see each other as competition, but because they kind of support each other and are able to make all this, for lack of a better word, make all the links in the chain stronger. I don't know if that was a completely
No, that was a good
understandable,
analogy. No, for sure. Yeah. And I think it's really nice because that's quite a broad collaborative approach, but it's very community minded. And I think that's what people really are, at least myself, I seem to really appreciate that kind of approach to the process. And I think you guys are going to do some great things. And I think we're all looking forward to whatever happens. So.
Yeah, no, we are grateful very much, as I said before, for the approach of the community, that everybody is very much supportive of this, and we are doing everything in our power that we can make your wildest or reach your expectations with what you have for us.
Great. Anybody else have any questions for Martin? As great as Zoom is, sometimes these few seconds of silence are so uncomfortable. Sure,
Yeah.
everybody can agree on that. Oh, there's one in the chat box here, Martin. Are there any plans to have a combined membership with Ski Baignon? That's from TJ. Thank you, TJ.
It's it's we're open to anything. End of the line, as long as it as long as it makes sense. The guys at Baignon are fantastic. They helped us tremendously this winter. I don't know if many of you followed. Our snowcat broke down at one point, and the guys at Baignon, without any hesitation, were able to lend us their third snowcat, so we were able to get through the rest of the season. It's we are more than open to any partnerships. I know there is some sort of a pass which we are part of right now. I think it's a Nomad pass or something like that. And don't quote me please on that, what the name of that pass, that between the ski hills that you have some sort of a discount. Yeah, we are more than happy. In other words, we are more than happy to have some sort of a combined pass for both ski resorts.
Great, thank you. I have another question here. I'm sorry, that's just the first initial. PJ says, thank you, Martin. And the new question is, can you confirm if the gondola will be operational for skiing this January 2021?
No, not for this year. It will be operational. The first day we will be operating the gondola will be 2021 for Canadian Day. It takes usually a year to build a gondola. We are very optimistic and pushing the envelope, but we would not be able to make that happen, unfortunately. This coming winter, we will be operating as this past winter with the surface lift, the pommel lift, which we have, and unfortunately the old lodge. But people who will be able to come here, they will see the new lodge and the construction which is happening in it already, and we'll see the foundations and the other work which of the towers, and you will see some of the construction of the tree walk. But this coming winter will be pretty much the same, as the one before.
Okay, great. Sorry, I got distracted by that sneeze. So did I hear, or maybe I heard you on CBC months ago or something, were you mentioning that you have the option, so since the gondola won't be running this winter, do you have somebody driving a snowmobile that takes people to the very top if they want? Was that something I heard, or am I crazy?
Yeah, it's what we did a couple days this past season. We had one of our employees driving a skidoo to the top. It turned out not to be exactly the most reliable method to get to the top, but we are working on something similar for the coming season, that people will be able to get to the top of the mountain more reliable. And for some of the days, as in the past year when we had Brett and Air here, they were dropping a couple people off at the top of the hill as well.
Yes. Excellent. So just Anna is just following up on your question from TJ about the shared pass, and she just wants to clarify to everybody, I'll just read it, that the Nomad Pass allows your season pass from one of the participating Atlantic ski hills to give a discount to the others in the area, including Cape Smokey. Benyon is part of the Nomad program as well. So TJ, hopefully that gives you a bit more information. And I did have another question there that I can't seem to get to. Oh, sorry, I'm having trouble finding that question.
It's okay, I've got it here if you want.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Dan.
It's a message
You're a
from
Zoom expert.
That's okay. It's a Cole Sanford is asking if there's a timeline for mountain bike trails.
I was waiting when this one was going to come. Yeah, no, so we want to have the mountain bike trails ready as well for 2021, hopefully for Canadian Day. The timeline for the mountain bike trails is not quite set yet, but we have a rough idea of 3 trails which will be coming forward. Most of them nothing extreme difficult, more family orientated and easy runs, and hopefully into the future we will start adding more difficult runs for the gravity seekers and so on coming forward. But yes, most definitely we are thinking of the mountain bike community as well, and we will have mountain bike trails in Cape Smokey. Hopefully at 2021 we will see how all of it adds up.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions, everyone? I guess now's your opportunity. Martin is clearly very busy and they have a lot to do in the next year, so now's your chance. Well, I just want to thank Martin very much for taking this time. I'm glad that so many people are interested, and clearly we're sharing this kind of experience, which is great. I think you'll have great success, and I think us and many of our peers will be showing up for all of those experiences you're talking about. So, and thank you all for participating today. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we can bring you some more sessions like these, probably take a break for the summer and start back up in the fall. If you do have any more questions and you just weren't able to ask them today, feel free to send them along to me. You can find my contact information on probably our Facebook page or website. And yeah, I'll give another second if anybody does have any questions, but just thank you all. I hope you get out and enjoy the nice day. It's starting to look really nice.
No, thank you again for having me, and hopefully I will see you all here at on the Canadian Day when we open.
Thank you, Lydia.
Great.
Thank you, Martin.
Thanks,
you.
Thank you very
Martin.
much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care, everyone.
Bye.
Stay well.
Great job, Liddy.
Thanks. Bye-bye.